The sky above Colony Theta 9 was a strange shade of green. The clouds moved too slow, and the air always smelled faintly like burnt wires. Humans had only arrived on this planet 2 years ago, trying to turn the wasteland into a livable outpost. Max Carter, a 28-year-old scrapper, worked alone near the edge of the alien junkyard. He wasn't a soldier or scientist, just a man with a scanner and a cart, searching the alien dump sites for anything valuable. He kicked a pile of rusted alien tech. Nothing beeped, nothing hummed. Worthless. Then he saw them. 2 old boots, covered in dust. Torn leather mixed with some kind of strange metal that shimmered under the dim sun. They looked like human military boots, but older, bulkier, and alien. One boot had something carved in it, symbols that glowed faint blue. Strange, Max whispered. He reached down and touched one. A sharp pulse shot up his arm. His scanner sparked and died. What the hell? He looked around. No one was watching. Max didn't know why, but he put the boots in his bag and left. That night, thunder cracked across the sky. Max tossed in his bunk, sweating. He saw visions war. An army of alien giants marching. A human in those same boots leading them. Fire. Destruction. Screams. He woke up screaming, heart racing. Just a dream, he whispered. But the boots were glowing faintly in the corner of his room. The next morning he tried to turn them in. The command center refused. Just junk, the officer said, not even glancing at them. Max shrugged and walked back to his shack. For some reason, he couldn't let go of them. He felt drawn, like the boots were calling him. Out of curiosity, he tried them on. The moment his feet slipped in, the world tilted. A massive jolt hit his body like lightning. He dropped to his knees, gasping. The ground around him trembled. His vision went black and then filled with data languages, images he didn't understand. He stood up slowly. Everything around him looked sharper. The sound of insects buzzing in the distance became clear like music. His breathing slowed. His body felt different. Stronger. Max took a single step and shot forward 5 meters without meaning to. He slammed into a tree. But he didn't feel pain. What are these? He whispered. Before he could think further, alarms blared through. The camp. Emergency alert. Sector 4 under attack. All personnel report. Max ran outside. Over the ridge, dark ships were descending from the sky. Not human. Not friendly. The sky burned red with their engines. The alien war had begun, and Max was wearing their greatest weapon. Max didn't know how to fight. He wasn't a soldier. But as the alien ships roared overhead, something inside him told him to move. Boots tightened around his legs like they were alive. He took a step and flew forward again, faster than before. His balance adjusted quickly, like the boots were learning how his body worked. Explosions rocked the outer perimeter of Colony Theta 9. Alien creatures, tall and insect-like, swarmed from drop pods. Soldiers screamed over the radios. Max ducked behind a rock. He looked down at the boots. They were glowing brighter now. He touched one, and suddenly, words filled his mind. Not English, but he understood them. Command protocol. Active. You are bonded with the war boots of Tivor. Engage. What? Max whispered. Bonded? Another message followed. You are recognized as the new bearer. Combat functions unlocked. Max felt a wave of energy pulse through his legs. Something heavy clicked inside the boots. They weren't just armor, they were part of a weapon system. Before he could think, one of the insect-like aliens spotted him and charged. It screamed in a voice like metal grinding metal. Max's heart pounded. He had no weapon, but the boots reacted. In a blink, Max's body turned too fast for thought. His foot kicked forward, striking the creature's leg. There was a loud crack. The alien flew backward and hit a tree. UNMOVING. Max stared at his foot in shock. That ... wasn't me. It was like the boots were helping him fight, guiding his body, protecting him. From the ridge, more aliens charged. 3 of them this time. Max turned to run, but the boots had other ideas. His body spun around, lifted into the air with a small jump, and landed in front of the creatures like he was a trained warrior. "No!" Max shouted. "I'm not ready." But the boots didn't care. His body moved fast. One leg swept under an alien, the other slammed down on another's head. Sparks flew. The 3rd alien tried to stab him, but the boot on Max's left foot opened up with a small burst of energy, blasting the attacker backward. Smoke rose from the ground. Max stood in the center, chest heaving, eyes wide. He had just taken down 3 alien soldiers in 10 seconds. Behind him, human troops arrived, weapons drawn. They froze when they saw Max surrounded by bodies. "What the hell happened here?" one of the soldiers asked. I don't know," Max said, shaking. One of the officers looked at Max's boots. His eyes widened. "Those are alien tech, high grade. Never seen anything like it." Max didn't answer. He was still trying to breathe. Back at the base, Max was taken in for questioning. Scientists examined the boots but couldn't remove them. The moment anyone touched them, they pulsed with blue light and rejected the command. "They're bonded to your nervous system," one doctor said. "This isn't just armor. It's alive. It's choosing you." Max sat quietly, staring at his glowing feet. "What do they want from me?" he asked. No one answered. Later that night, alone in his room, Max had another vision. He saw a battlefield filled with ancient warriors, alien and human, fighting side by side. At the front stood a man in the same boots Max now wore. He was called the Wielder. Max saw entire cities fall. He saw the boots buried in a grave of rust. Then the voice came again. "The Wielder must rise again. The war is not over." Max woke up sweating. He looked outside. Fires still burned on the horizon. The war had begun, and ready or not, the boots had chosen him to fight it. The next morning, Max stood at the edge of the base, watching smoke rise from what was once Sector 4. The alien attackers had vanished during the night, but everyone knew they would return. And when they did, they'd come in larger numbers. Max still wore the boots. He couldn't take them off, not even with tools. The scientists had tried again, but the boots locked tighter each time, warning of harm to the host. Now Max was no longer just a scrapper. Soldiers passed by him with nervous glances. Some respected him. Some feared him, but Max felt something else. Something inside the boots was changing him. He stared at the scorched battlefield. And that's when it happened again, a surge. His eyes went white, and his mind was pulled away from the present. He stood in a memory, not his, but someone else's, a battlefield lit by twin suns. Thousands of alien soldiers marched beside giant war beasts. And at the center stood a figure wearing the same boots. But the figure wasn't human. He was tall, silver-skinned, with glowing blue eyes. He spoke in a powerful voice. "The humans will betray us. The boots must never fall into their hands." Max gasped. The memory shifted. The alien was now fighting humans, ruthless battles. Fire, blood, death. Then it ended. The boots were removed from the alien's body and thrown into the trash pits, forgotten in the junk of war. Max fell to his knees, sweating hard. He was back in the present. The boots pulsed quietly, like they were alive and watching him. He whispered, "I saw the last owner. He hated humans." Just then, a voice spoke behind him. "I believe you." Max turned. A young alien woman stood there, tall and graceful. Her skin was light violet, and her eyes shimmered with bright teal. She wore the robes of a diplomat but carried herself like a warrior. "I'm Liari," she said. "I came because of the boots. You know about them?" She nodded. "They belong to the Tivor commander. The boots were thought to be lost after the war. They are not just weapons. They carry the memories of the past." Max looked down. "I saw them." He hated humans. Liari stepped closer. "The Tivor believed humans caused the fall of their empire. The boots remember pain, but they also remember strength. Now they've chosen you, but I'm not a warrior." "You are now," she said softly. Max looked at her. "Can you help me understand what's happening?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, but you need to come with me, away from this base. There are those here who want to take the boots by force." Max remembered how some soldiers looked at him like a threat. He had no doubt she was right. He made his choice quickly. "Let's go." Liari activated a small beacon on her wrist. A sleek alien ship, cloaked and silent, rose from the trees nearby. Max followed her aboard. As they flew away, he looked back at the colony, still burning, still fighting. "I don't know what these boots want," Max said, "but I think they're waking up." Liari looked at him with a strange expression. "They're not the only thing waking up, Max. There's something worse. Something buried beneath this world." Max felt the boots tighten slightly, almost as if they heard her words, and suddenly, he wasn't sure the boots were the strongest artifact anymore. Asterisk flew low over dead forests and cracked land. Max sat near the window, his heart racing. The further they flew from the colony, the stronger the boots pulsed, almost like they knew something. Liari stood at the control panel. Her fingers danced across strange symbols. She glanced back at Max. "We're close?" "Close to what?" Max asked. "To the vault," she replied. "A place built long ago by the Tivor. A secret place where they kept weapons too dangerous to use, even in war." Max frowned. "And we're going there because the boots chose you. And the vault will only open for someone bonded to them." Max swallowed. "So, I'm the key." Liari nodded. "And if we don't get there first, someone else will. Someone who will use what's inside to destroy everything." The ship landed in a valley surrounded by jagged cliffs. The earth here was black and dry, like it had been scorched by ancient fire. Strange towers rose from the ground. Old, broken, forgotten. At the center was a sealed door, half buried in the ground. No handle, no panel. Just glowing blue symbols, same as the ones on the boots. Max stepped closer. As he approached, the symbols lit up, brighter and faster. The boots vibrated slightly, and then the ground trembled. A loud rumble echoed through the valley as the door cracked open. A stairway slid out, covered in dust. Liari looked stunned. It worked. They went down together, torches lighting automatically. As they moved deeper, the walls were lined with carving stories of old battles, forgotten heroes, and terrifying machines. Then they entered the vault chamber. Rows of massive stone containers lined the room. Inside were weapons like Max had never seen, blades that shimmered with void energy, rifles that floated, armor that whispered like it was alive. But at the center of the chamber was a glass-like coffin. Inside it lay another set of armor, complete from head to toe. Boots, chestplate, gauntlets, helmet, all black and silver, glowing faintly blue. It was like the boots Max wore, but more ... complete. Liari whispered, "That's it, the full battle suit of the Tivor wielder." Max stepped toward it. His boots pulsed again. A low hum filled the air, but before he could touch it, the vault shook violently. Alarms blared in an old alien language. Dust fell from the ceiling. "They found us." Liari shouted. Above, the sealed door burst open. Shouts. Energy blasts. Soldiers in black armor stormed in, not alien, but human. "Mercenaries, get the boots," their commander shouted. "And the suit take everything." Max stepped in front of the coffin. The boots surged with energy. He felt heat rise through his spine and into his chest. "Don't touch it," he shouted. "This is not for you." A mercenary fired. Max moved so fast he couldn't see his own motion. He leapt forward and kicked the attacker straight into the wall. Another came from the side, blade drawn. Max blocked it with his leg, the boot's metal, deflecting the strike like a shield. Then something incredible happened. The coffin opened. Pieces of the armor floated out and hovered around Max. One by one, they attached to his body chest plate, gauntlets, leg armor, and finally the helmet. He stood fully armored. The suit spoke in a deep voice. "Wielder confirmed. Combat mode active." Energy burst around him. The room glowed blue. Even Liari took a step back. "Max, you've become the new wielder." Max looked down at his hands. He didn't feel like a scrapper anymore. He felt ready. He turned to the remaining mercenaries. "I gave you a chance to leave. They opened fire. Big mistake. Asterisk blaster." Fire lit up the vault. Max didn't flinch. The suit took over. The helmet's visor glowed blue, and symbols danced across the inside screen. The world slowed down. Every bullet, every motion like time had stretched just for him. He moved fast. Faster than any human should. The first mercenary fired point blank. Max raised his hand, and the blast bounced off the armor harmlessly. The second tried to rush him with a plasma blade. Max twisted, dodged, and kicked. The mercenary flew backward and hit the wall with a loud crunch. 3 more enemies surrounded him, shouting orders. Max spun. His boots flared with energy. His legs struck the ground, sending out a shockwave. The floor cracked, and all 3 were thrown into the air. Liari watched from the edge of the chamber, eyes wide. He's unstoppable. The remaining soldiers tried to retreat. Max pointed at the exit, and twin energy cannons formed on his forearms. He didn't fire to kill, just a blast at the wall near the door. Boom. The exit caved in, trapping them inside the vault. The last soldier dropped his weapon. "Don't shoot. We were paid to retrieve the armor. That's it." Max walked toward him slowly. "By who?" The mercenary shook. "A private collector. Human, rich, connected. Said this armor belonged to mankind before the aliens stole it. Wanted it back." Max's fists clenched. "He's wrong." Before the mercenary could reply, the suit spoke through Max. "This artifact does not belong to one race. It chooses its wielder. You failed." Then the suit powered down its weapons. Max turned to Liari. "Let's go, before this place collapses." They moved through the side tunnels. The vault shook again. The armor had activated ancient systems, and now the whole place was unstable. They made it to the surface just as the ground cracked open and the vault sank deeper into the earth. From the ship, Max looked down one last time. That chamber, and those weapons were sealed once again. But now, he carried the suit, back in orbit, aboard a secret station used by Liari's people. Max sat in silence. The armor had detached itself, leaving only the boots on his feet. He still felt the strength, but also the weight. Liari entered with a hologram. "This is the man who hired the mercenaries." The image flickered, showing a human with gray eyes, cold face, and a scar across his chin. Name's Dorian Krell. He's not just a collector, he's building a private army. He believes humans should control all alien tech. Max frowned. "And now he knows I have the suit." Liari nodded. "He'll come for you, and he won't stop until he has it." Max stood. "Then we stop him first?" She tilted her head. "Are you ready for that, wielder?" Max looked down at the boots. "They made me ready. But as they spoke, far across the galaxy, Dorian Krell sat in a dark room watching a screen. The footage showed Max fighting inside the vault. Krell smiled. So ... The boots chose a junk scrapper. Behind him stood several alien mercenaries, tall and silent. Bring him to me, Krell said coldly. Alive. The boots may have chosen him, but everything has a limit, even power. And with that, the real war began. The space station above. Theta 9 was no longer safe. Max knew it the moment the alarms started. He and Liari had been preparing to travel to another system to meet an old Tavor AI digital mind that could help him fully unlock the armor. But Krell moved faster than expected. The first attack came without warning. Stealth missiles slammed into the outer docking ring, tearing metal like paper. Emergency lights flickered as the station trembled. Fires broke out. Oxygen levels dropped. Screams echoed through the halls. Krell's forces are here. Liari shouted, holding onto a railing. We need to move now. Max's boots pulsed, recognizing danger. The armor didn't fully deploy yet, but the boots alone gave him speed and strength. He grabbed Liari's arm and ran. They passed through broken corridors, dodging fallen beams and panicked crew members. Behind them, dark armored mercenaries swept through the station like shadows, stunning anyone in their path. They're not killing, Max noticed. They're hunting. For you, Liari said. They want the wielder alive. They reached the command deck. The exit bay was sealed. Krell's ship, a black dreadnought, floated just outside the station window, surrounded by smaller hunter ships. A voice came over the station's speakers. Max Carter, Krell said, calm and cold. You have something that belongs to humanity. That suit was built for men like me, not garbage pickers like you. Surrender, and I will spare your alien friend. Max's jaw tightened. He's watching us. Liari's eyes narrowed. He's trying to break you. Max stepped forward and stared at the nearest camera. I didn't choose the boots, he said firmly. They chose me. And you're not going to take them. Krell's voice dropped. Then I'll come take them myself. The attack began in full. Troops breached the deck. Max felt the boots awaken. Armor pieces flew in from a secured container, sliding into place. Chest plate, gauntlets. The helmet formed last, locking with a hiss.wielder online. Max's body moved like lightning. He struck one mercenary with a burst of kinetic energy, slamming him into the ceiling. He spun, lifted his arm, and a shield of glowing blue blocked incoming fire. Liari fired beside him, calm and precise. The corridor shook again. Another explosion. Max looked at her. We can't win this here. We need to escape and strike Krell. Where it hurts. There's a stealth ship in the lower hangar, Liari said, but we'll have to fight our way through. Then we fight. They ran through the chaos. Max cleared the way, using the boot's power to leap, punch, and blast enemies aside. His every step cracked the floor. Krell's forces weren't ready for someone with that kind of strength. Not human. Not alien. Something in between. One of Krell's captains, a giant cyborg in red armor, blocked the hangar gate. You're just a man in a stolen suit, the captain sneered. Max didn't reply. He launched himself into the air, came down hard, and shattered the floor beneath the cyborg. The force crushed the gate open. Liari activated the stealth ship systems. Get in. Max jumped aboard as the station's core began to overheat. The ship rose fast and silent. Krell's dreadnought noticed, but it was too late. They vanished into deep space. Inside the ship, Max sat in silence, catching his breath. The armor faded, returning to boots only. Liari spoke softly. We'll head to the Tavor ruins. There's something hidden there, a weapon that even the wielder feared. If Krell gets to it first, He won't, Max said. But you're only one man. Max stood and looked at her. I'm the one man the boots chose. That has to count for something, she smiled. Then let's make it count. Far away on his dreadnought, Krell watched the escape footage. He didn't look angry. He looked excited. Good, he whispered. Run as far as you want, Max Carter. The longer this chase lasts, the stronger I become. He turned to a sealed pod behind him. Inside it, a corrupted version of the Tivor armor, pulsing red. The final weapon. Asterisk. The stars outside shimmered like cold fire as Max and Layari's ship approached the ruins of Tivor Prime. The planet was dead. Ash-gray mountains, no oceans, no sound. But under its silent surface slept the last secret of the Tivor Empire. The hardcore, a power source so strong, even the wielders feared it. Max stood inside the ship, half-armored. The boots had changed him. He was faster, stronger, more focused. But this wasn't just about power anymore. It was about choice. If Krell gets the hardcore, Layari said, he'll control every remaining piece of Tivor technology. He'll rewrite the galaxy under his rule. Then this ends now, Max said. They landed near a canyon filled with glowing blue crystal spires. At the center stood an ancient temple carved into stone. The boots pulsed, guiding Max forward. Inside, the air was thick with memory. Holograms flickered, ghosts of the Tivor past. Warriors training, cities falling. One last message played on the wall. The hardcore must never be bonded. Power without mercy leads only to ruin. Max understood that this power wasn't meant to control others. It was meant to protect them. He placed his hand on the altar. The ground split open. Below, in a chamber of light, floated the hardcore bright. Alive, humming with energy. And then the shadows arrived. The temple shook as Krell's dreadnought descended above the ruins. His troops swarmed the canyon and behind them. Krell stepped down himself, but he no longer looked fully human. He wore the red corrupted armor, eyes glowing. Voice like thunder. I see you found it, Krell said, walking slowly toward Max. The hardcore, finally awake. Just like me. Max stepped forward, the blue light of the boots flaring. You don't understand what it is. I understand power, Krell growled, and I'm taking it. He rushed Max, red armor crashing against blue. Their clash sent shockwaves through the temple. Max dodged, punched, kicked. The boots reacted to every move, protecting him, but Krell's corrupted armor was strong, built for destruction. Each hit shook the chamber. Layari tried to help, but a force field blocked. This fight was between wielders. I'm what you should have been, Max, Krell shouted. A true leader, a warrior who doesn't hesitate. Max blocked a blow, slid back, and stood tall. You don't get it. The wielder isn't just chosen by the armor. He slammed his foot into the ground. Blue energy spiraled upward. He's chosen by the will to protect. The boots lit brighter than ever. Max's full armor returned, this time with wings of pure light forming behind him. He charged, faster than before. Stronger than ever. Each strike cracked Krell's red armor. Each step pushed him back. Then Max lifted Krell into the air and roared, "This ends now." He slammed Krell into the temple's core where the hardcore pulsed. The corrupted suit screamed as it broke apart. Krell collapsed, defeated. The hardcore dimmed and the temple calmed. Later, Layari and Max stood outside, watching the red sky of Tivor Prime. Krell's gone, she said. And the hardcore is sealed again, Max nodded. No one should control that much power. Not me, not anyone. He looked down. The boots still on his feet were now quiet, not glowing, not speaking. Will you take them off? Layari asked. Max smiled. I don't think I can. But I won't use them to rule, only to help. She touched his arm gently. The galaxy could use someone like that. He looked up at the stars, from Junkyard Boots to Galactic Protector. Not because he wanted power, because he never ran away from doing what was right.